Welcome this morning. Great to see you again. Week 20, you're looking good today. Week 20, we're going to continue in our series. I trust you're enjoying it and really getting something out of the daily devotions as it builds your life. The Bible talks about in Romans 12, it says, don't be conformed, Romans 12, 1 and 2 there, don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's a very, very powerful thought. One of the most powerful realities in that will be knowing who God is, renewing your mind, transforming your mind to who God is, not who you think he is, not who you want him to be, not who you thought he was like when you were a little child, but to know the true and living God. And the best place, obviously, is through the Bible to learn that. In Romans, it tells us that. In Daniel, it tells us, Daniel 11:32, get a chance to look at it later. Daniel 11:32 talks about this attitude, and it says, those who do wickedly against the covenant, he shall corrupt or pollute. So, good confidence that those who are not living according to the way of God, their lives can be polluted with a whole lot of things that you and I need to be free of and can be free of. Because it goes on and it says, but, love that part, but the people who know their God shall be strong and carry out great exploits. That's a very powerful thought when you think about it, that those people who know their God, and the word know there is essentially like over in the New Testament, it says this mentality Jesus talked about, being able to know the truth. The word know, experience the truth. You and I can experience God, experience the truth, transforming our life. And here it talks about those people who know their God shall be strong and do great things. Knowing God is growing in God. And to grow in God is wonderful because you feel like, gee, I'm a totally different person, even today, than I was yesterday. I faced some obstacles and I passed some tests, so to speak. I had opportunity to do this, and this, and the old me would have done that. But the new me is just thinking differently. And it's almost like I'm not even trying. It's just I got a whole new way of thinking or a whole new way of living, which is what God offers in Jesus Christ, to be able to have that understanding. And I think it's fantastic when you can see and believe that the same life that you were, so to speak, the same world that you were living in is now, unlocked to you a greater level of living, a greater standard of living that, so to speak, was there all the time. But by faith now and knowing God, you can push through that or press through that. So sometimes it's not a matter of just suppressing your old life. It's being able to unpack your new life. It's like a Christmas present. You get it at Christmas, but it's great to get a present, but it's even better when you unwrap it. And unwrapping your life is fantastic to be able to do that. So knowing God is wonderful. And how you can get to know God is like how you get to know anybody. Number one, spending time with them. Being able to spend time with that person, taking time out to say, God, what do you like? How do you think? How are you helping me? Well, what's happening today and what's happening tomorrow? And being able to inquire of God. The reality is, that we believe that God talks to us. In Genesis 1, it says that God spoke the world into existence. We believe that our God is a talking God. And today that he can speak to us, speak to our life deliberately, purposefully, intellectually, spiritually, dynamically, that transforms our life to be renewed out of our old, as we've talked about, our fallen nature. So being able to spend time with him and talk to him like a good friend. I always believe that the problem is really never God's end, it's my end. God is speaking to me all the time. All the time he's speaking to me. He's not just yes or no's or stop or goes. He's really wanting to talk to me as a good father would all the time. It's my ability to tune in to that, so to speak, that frequency and listen to him. How do I do that? By faith. You've got it. So another way of doing that is reading the Word of God. Opening the Word of God, maybe Proverbs or the New Testament somewhere in Matthew, John, a good place is to start. James is another good book to be able to look at. Romans is another good book to be able to look at. Remember how we talked about the Bible is a library of books? And you don't sort of basically start from cover to cover. It's much better if you can go from book to book to be able to get from God, get out of it what you need to be able to receive, to walk with God in a powerful way. So today, being able to spend time with him, just in a quiet place. Number two, read the Word of God there. Another one that can be really helpful for a lot of people is writing a ledger. So being able to write things out in a very, very plain way in a diary, so to speak, or diary meaning just a a book with blank pages in it that every day you open up and say, God, maybe the heading is, God, what are you saying to me today? And be able to write that down, write your thoughts, write your feelings down, even at the bottom, write a prayer down of how you prayed or what you prayed about today. Wow, there's a lot of things there. Getting to know God is a wonderful thing. It's very noticeable on a person who gets to know God and wants to walk with God, because their life it's like they're being renewed every day, because the smallest of them is growing into the bigness of God. Be encouraged, be blessed. See you tomorrow.